All right, Jeffrey, how much you got left in the tank, son?
I don't know, Coach. I think I got one more in me.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Ray, take the ball and go, buddy.
All right, here we are. Thanks again for watching the DIAMONDCAST Baseball Show. We appreciate you tuning in here. Jeff's not very happy about that right there, but hey, show, we appreciate you being a part of today. Ray Halbert from Livestream STL Media. Wonderful day today here to talk about our brand new show here, DIAMONDCAST Baseball Show. We are going to put a little disclaimer on that. It is the DIAMONDCAST Baseball Show, as it says right here, but we will be covering also DIAMONDCAST Softball because we do carry softball this spring, and we're hoping to get together with all of our coaches in the area here, JUCO, high school, JUCO softball as well, and things like that. So, we just wanted to maybe preface on what our plan is with this particular show. And I know Jeff's got a lot to talk about that as well. So
I'll be ready for the next outing.
There you go.
And there will be things I need to get off my chest.
Okay. All right. So I see a Woody's Rants segment coming in. And
thanks, Coach. I was one strikeout away from getting my bonus.
Well, cry me a river.
Folks, stay tuned. We've got plenty to talk about here coming up here in just a little bit here. You're watching the DIAMONDCAST Baseball Show on Livestream STL.
Need cash for your cause? Double D's Fundraising delivers big profits in crowd-pleasing frozen pizzas and Otis Spunkmeyer cookie dough. Delicious cheese, loaded meat lovers, zesty buffalo chicken, all the flavors fans crave. We make it super easy to earn profits for your organization. Always freshly made for your order. Call or email Double D's today to start raising money the tasty way at 314-472-8600 or fr@ddpizzeria.com.
At Farmhouse Style, we have all the modern styles and high-quality furniture at wholesale prices. Prices we can't even advertise. So if you're modern or traditional, boho or art deco, save big by making the 20-minute drive down Highway 55 to check out Farmhouse Style.
Welcome back to the DIAMONDCAST Baseball Show. We have Coach David Lucas from the Crystal City Hornets with us today. Coach Lucas, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you all doing?
Excellent.
Good.
We're going to talk a little bit about the Crystal City Hornets, even though he wasn't the coach last season. We'll just kind of give a little brief recap here. 4-11 on the 2025 season. You lost to Bismarck in the Class 2 District 4 tournament. You're losing 5 players to graduation last season, and this is your first season here. Take us through a little bit, your thoughts on taking the job and what that process looked like.
It was kind of strange, actually. I knew the job was open, and Coach Eisenbias and I have known each other for a long time, and he found out I'd be interested. He reached out to me, and I was like, yeah, I will. I am interested, actually. I've never coached a high school team. I've coached high school age kids, and we just went through the process. It worked out with me. I'm not a teacher, so I'm not on campus, and it just worked out with my regular job being at Crystal City with their schedule that I can get there on time for everything.
Well, Coach, for those who aren't familiar, why don't you give them a little bit about your background, your coaching background?
After I got done with my playing, I volunteered at a couple different places, and then I've spent the last coaching youth, coaching at all levels, club stuff, and that's kind of how I ended up here.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about some of the positive you've seen from this team this spring so far.
They don't ever quit. We played our first game Friday, and I wasn't really sure where we were at with it. They're a good group of kids. They work hard. They have fun with it. That was one of the things I told them from the get-go. And our first time I met them all was, we're not going to concentrate on the wins and losses. We're going to have fun, and I'm going to show you how to play the game that I like to play. Just play it hard, learn it the best you can, and we'll have fun with it. Not worry about the outcome.
Right. So I like it.
Have you noticed a difference yet? Obviously, there's a difference in physical and mental development between coaching a lot of youth teams, maybe, and this high school bunch. Anything that you've had to do to kind of to change your methods or tactics at all, or is it pretty much the same?
Um, I've become a little more patient with the high school kids. When you work with younger kids or even before high school, everything you say, they just take it and it's the gospel. With high school kids, they kind of look at you like, well, why do you want me to do that?
Right.
And I've developed the patience with them to get through that. And I've told them just effort, work at it, and you'll keep me happy.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
How many games have you guys or practices have you been able to get in here this spring?
we've gotten a lot in outdoors. We spent a lot of time, a lot of weekends on the field. Spent yesterday at the field, just getting it ready. We have our home opener coming up, and having a grass field is
Yeah.
a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I hadn't done it for a long time because been on turf for several years. So going back to grass, I love grass. It's just being able to play on a grass dirt field is just a lot of fun. And everybody we play has grass infield and dirt or just dirt.
Mhm.
And it's real baseball to me,
Yeah.
especially
Sure.
with these kids.
I get it. I get it.
Coach, looking at and you weren't there last year, and you did lose some really good players to graduation last year. A couple of your best hitters, but who do you see at this point, and it could be freshmen on up to seniors, kind of emerging as some of your team leaders at this juncture?
The seniors, I have 4 seniors, and they are doing a very good job, whether it's vocal or just leading by example. They're doing a great job. Friday, you see the difference between a freshman. We have a lot of freshmen that are good ball players. I have 5 freshmen. They're all very good ball players. But the 4 seniors just kind of stood out with, like, it was just another Friday to them.
Yeah.
We go out, we do our thing. And, at the end of the game, I had seniors coming up and, they worked hard to almost try to get us a win. So
Sure.
it's a difference. The 4 seniors have all done real well. Our 4 seniors, Riley Hendrickson, Hayden Westbrook, Ricardo Pastrana, and Caden Thomas they're very good. Very
You've
good
got some
leaders.
good all-around athletes in that group
Yeah.
that you just
Yeah,
mentioned.
they are
as
all.
well.
There's a lot of multi-sport.
Exactly.
I mean, even with track, I have 3 kids that are running track as well as playing baseball.
Well,
And,
at a small school, a lot of guys have to wear a lot of different.
we share. We're all sharing. That was one of the things that first email I was on, and I talked. Football was. You got a few of us. What can we? I think we'll be good. I mean, we got to share. I've got 13, and they all play more than one sport, and had 3 kids leaving that won't be at practice tomorrow. They're going to go to a track meet, and I'm
Yeah.
like, go do me proud.
Yeah.
It's part of being in a small community, small school.
Right.
It's kind of what makes it neat about a small school too, in my opinion, in that environment. But Coach, before we get to the Ray question, just one last question. If you were to tell the folks watching today what they can expect out of your Crystal City Hornets this year, what type of team they'll expect on the field, is it going to be a power team? Is it going to be a speed and defense team? Well, what are you looking at?
They want to be a power team. And I told them, if you can show me in the jamboree, if you can show me that we're going to play gorilla ball, we'll play gorilla ball because I love to play gorilla ball.
Yeah.
I said, but we're going to be a team that we're very fast, and we're going to frustrate people. We're going to do a lot of the small ball stuff that'll just frustrate people. We want them at the end of the day to go home and be like, whoo,
Yeah.
that stressed me out. And that's all I ask of them. That's kind of our philosophy. Now they can show me they can hit a bunch of home runs, and shoot, yeah, we'll play gorilla ball. No, we'll play a lot of small ball is what we'll end up doing.
Right. Yeah.
Excellent.
Before I give you the Ray question here, do you feel like that the team as a whole has they're going through an adjustment with having a new coach?
I think we're getting there. It's a matter of trust, and they're starting to come along. Individuals
Mhm.
are starting to come, and they trust me now. And I think I've got most of them there that they know I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. So they've developed that trust and do the things that I ask of them, and know that I got their back. So it's been a lot of fun.
All right, here it is. It's the Ray question
All right.
for inquiring minds that want to know here.
This is a question we always ask first-time coaches, first-time interviews.
Yep,
Okay,
every
special
time.
question.
All right.
Here it is. Okay. Is there something that you do outside of baseball that maybe not quite everybody knows about, like some sort of hobby, some sort of, stupid human trick,
Special talent,
things like that?
special interests outside of the sport.
I would. That's a tough one because all my friends know all my quirks. So,
Well, the Crystal City community now embracing you
Yes,
as their head coach.
uh,
What's something that they may not know?
that they may not know. Oh, I'm not for sure, honestly. Because I'm one of those people that I feel like I know everybody, even though I don't.
Yeah.
So I meet someone, and I'm always like, yeah, I know who you are. I really don't know if it's.
What do you like to do when you're not coaching or being around the game?
I spend a lot of time outdoors.
Yeah.
I like to, grew up in a family of baseball players, waterfowl hunters, fishermen. And that's both of my boys like to be outdoors doing stuff. Both are like to golf. I don't like to golf anymore, but just being outdoors is the biggest thing with me, which is kind of why I mess with this team because they're outdoor type kids. They want to be outside.
Right.
Being in the gym drives them nuts.
Gotta love that.
Like I've come close to canceling practices. If we didn't need them to have them before the first game, I probably would have canceled some because I knew it was driving them crazy being inside.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts. I want to be outside, whether it's on a ball field, down at my parents' farm, or wherever, or just be outside doing something. I guess that's kind of being outside.
That's a good Ray question.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that there. We'll get good that we got to know you a little bit here. And, we're rooting for the Crystal City Hornets to have a strong season this year. And I know we'll have a few games that we'll probably cover with you too here. So I'm sure I'll be bugging you for lineups and all that fun stuff. But Coach, we appreciate you really coming in and just telling us a little bit about the Crystal City Hornets this season.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
There you go. Coach David Lucas from the Crystal City Hornets. Welcome back to the DIAMONDCAST Baseball Show here. Our previews continue here with the St. Pius X Lancers here. And today we've got Coach Eddie Moreno over here from the St. Pius X Lancers. Eddie, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Excellent.
the coverage.
Excellent. We wanted to talk a little bit about last season. You guys were 14-10, is that right?
12 and 14.
12 and 14. I'm sorry. My bad there. 12 and 14. You lost in the district championship. And had a fairly successful season, I think. For the amount of teams that you had to play that were some pretty tough teams. But I wanted to just get your thoughts on the season as a whole.
From last year was
Yes.
it was a little bit of a weird year. We started off 3-0, I guess it was. We went down to that tournament that we were in Houston, Missouri. Played well, had some bright spots. We were very young last year. We're still young this year. Last year we had three seniors that we graduated. This year we have 5. We were very loaded at the freshman level last year. We did play for a district title. We played in the semifinal against R7. Things went our way there. We went to the championship game against West County, and we literally just ran into a buzzsaw. At one point in that game, I remember sitting next to my assistant coach, Cozy Cook, kind of like sitting next to Brian here, and we were down 1-0 they had a runner on second, and I looked at him, I said, if we can get out of this only down 2-0, we'll be okay. So they had a runner on second with 2 outs, and 10 runs later, it was 11-0 in the first.
Yeah.
We committed errors. We just did a lot of things that you can't do in a high school game. And we fell in that game 15-0. We got short gamed in 3 innings. Coach Simile does a great job with West County, and he coached them up. They had a very senior loaded team, and we fell short there. I guess I took over the program about halfway through. I think we were 6-7 when I took over, and then we finished 6-7. How funny that I'm saying 6-7. All the high school kids are laughing right now. But so we finished year 12-14. This year we've started off. I think we're 2-5 right now. We've played a pretty tough schedule. Played Vianney yesterday. Played them to a 4-0 game. They are very good. They are very loaded. But we schedule the way we schedule on purpose. I don't know how else to put that. And we know it's going to be tough. And we try not to focus on what's happening right now. It's all about how we're going to finish towards the end, if you will. That's the most important thing.
Excellent.
You mentioned it. You beat me to the punch, but you guys do play a tough schedule. Who are some of the guys that you're playing, which, like you said, it's going to make you better down the road anyway?
Like when I look at our schedule, we open up with Cape Central, who's a very tough opponent. Potosi's not easy. Here's what I'll tell you. So far, we've played 7 games. We've faced virtually everybody's number 1 or 2. We haven't seen less than a number 1 or 2 pitcher. We played Jabot out of Illinois, who's a very high caliber small school team. We played Greenville at Busch Stadium. That was an odd game. We come back from our break. We're on break right now. We just started Holy Week. We start Holy Week tomorrow, I should say. But we'll go Lutheran St. Charles, Sac City Lutheran, Valley Catholics coming up, Valley Park, Clayton, Notre Dame out of Cape, Belleville East, which is a big one. We'll go to the Cape Central Wood Bat Tournament. We'll play down there against 3 bigger schools than us. And then we'll finish off the season with Westminster Christian, and Farmington is just some of the big schools. We play a lot of class 4, class 5, class 6 schools. And it's by design. It really is.
Loaded.
Yeah, it is loaded. And I told the kids and I told the parents in the parent meeting, and I don't say this the way I say it and the way it comes off. I don't want it to seem like I don't care about winning. But what I told them is I'm past the point in my career where I'm going to chase wins. Like I could schedule a bunch of teams where we could go and we could be sitting at 15-1, 17-2, and just be coasting along. Or we can schedule the schedule we have, and it can be tough. And maybe if we're 500 at the end of the year, I'll be tickled, because you look at our schedule, and I think anyone would take 500 with that schedule that we play.
But look what you're teaching your kids, though.
Well, yeah, and I think
that's admirable, dude.
Does everybody want to win? Absolutely. At the end of the day, everybody wants to win. I always joke with the kids, losing sucks, winning sucks less. So, do we want to win? Absolutely. I did. I called them out a little bit yesterday because they went in. I know that they went into that game yesterday against Vianney, who's very good. And I told them at the end of the game, I said, I don't think any one of you came in here expecting to win today. Not one of you came in with the mindset that, we're expecting to win this game. And it showed at times. But then when it's all said and done, you look at it and it was 4-0. Our pitchers did everything they were supposed to. We made 3 errors in the 3rd inning that gave up 3 runs. Otherwise, you're sitting at a 1-0 game. Now, against a Class 6 school like Vianney, you make those mistakes, they make you pay for it every time.
Yeah.
There is no getting away with giving a team 6 outs in 1 inning.
Yes.
There just isn't. And they made us pay. And at the end of the day, they won 4-0. Their pitcher, they threw strikes. And at the when it comes down to it, if you just throw strikes, the game becomes pretty simple.
For sure.
And so, yeah, I told the parents, and I was just honest with them, that I believe in building our schedule in thirds. I build it in a third of games that I think we'll have to do everything right to win. I build it in a third of games that I feel like it's a 50-50 coin toss. If we play well, we can win those games. And then the other third are games that I feel like we should be able to win. And I don't say that disrespectfully to any of our opponents. I just say that, like, that's my mantra and my motto on that schedule. Now, of course, yeah, I could go handpick the schedule, but I do handpick it. Our athletic director gives me the leeway to, well, who do you want to play? When do you want to play them? And he gives me a lot of freedom with scheduling who we want to schedule. And I think in the long run, at the end, hopefully it turns out the way we need it to turn out, and that it made us ready and tested for what we have to come. And that our kids realize that we play a competitive schedule.
I got to say, it is so cool to see you back on the diamond. And how long have you been at Pius now?
Man, it's weird being on the diamond, if I'm being honest with you. I never thought I'd do this again. I really didn't. My last team that I coached was 2009 at Hillsboro.
That long?
It was that low. It was
Holy
17 years ago. And I joked with the kids when we opened up this year. I said, it's been 17 years since I've been a head baseball coach on day one of a baseball season. That 2019 was very good. I'll get it wrong, but I want to say we finished around 23 and 6, 24 and 6. We lost to Eureka. One of the greatest times I ever had with those kids. I wish I would have been around for the 2010 season when they came back, because we were pretty young there too. But unfortunately, I wasn't. I got into administration. Things played out the way they did. I've been at Pius for 6 years now. I truly, I don't mean it to sound hokey, but I'm blessed. I feel blessed. I'm very thankful for where I am. I'm thankful for where I am in my career, and I enjoy, and I maybe I can say this, maybe I can't. I don't know. You guys can edit it if you need to, but I love being able to make God a part of everything we do. So whenever we're playing baseball, God is at the forefront of that. We pray before games, we pray after games. We ask other teams if they want to pray with us, and just teaching them. And I said this at the parent meeting too. At the end of the day, my job isn't to win 100,000 games. My job is to create better men, better husbands, better brothers, better uncles, just better everything in life whenever they're done with high school baseball. And that's what my ultimate goal is. So, to be back at it, it's a little surreal. I never thought I'd do it again. And I guess they say never say never. So,
well, for one, dude, I'm glad you're back.
Well, I appreciate it. It's they kind of make fun of me a couple times because I'm a real stickler for stuff like, I hate ankle socks, and so I make them wear baseball socks, and it drives them crazy. And I just that's the old head in me, man. That's how I was taught.
Hey, I agree.
And you know what? In my life, I've had a lot of influence from a lot of great baseball people, and two I want to mention who have passed away recently, and that's, Coach Pooch and Rick Fiala. Those guys were a big influence on me whenever I was at Jefferson College, and I learned so much from them, and Coach Oster and Coach Felker and just all those. And so there's a little bit of them with everything that I do. So,
how are things going this year? We talked a little bit off camera, but how are things going this year for Pius?
Right now we are 2-5. We've played a pretty good schedule. We like I said, we played Vianney yesterday. We played Jabot out of Illinois. We played Greenville out of Illinois. Opened up with Cape Central. Played Potosi and Bayless. We play really well at times, and then we play like high school kids at times.
Yeah.
And I think that's just part of the deal. That's how it works. You get some games where everything's like clicking, and then you get some where you get a little frustrated. And I'll be honest, 7 games into it, I feel like we haven't found who we are yet. I think we're looking for that. We're dealing with adversity and just trying to figure that out. But I tell them all the time, and I mean it, I'm not just blowing smoke at them, that when they figure it out, they're going to be pretty good. And we're pretty young, so it's kind of exciting.
So speaking to that, what's the makeup of your team this year? Like with seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen?
Yeah, it's kind of wild. So a couple of fun things for us at Pius and if I talk too much, just give me like the cut sign.
No, you're good. You're good.
Pull the cane out and
you're
off.
good.
But we, like I said, Tilden gives me a lot of leeway with our schedule. And this year we've scheduled 33 varsity baseball games, which is the most we've had scheduled, I think, ever at St.
That's a few.
It is. And then at the lower level, I have 28 JV games. And our numbers are so good that we're able to schedule some freshman-only games, and we've got 8 of those on the schedule now. Nice. So for being a Class 3 baseball program, to be able to put 3 teams on the field right now, it's awesome. Our makeup is we have 5 seniors, 2 juniors, 13 sophomores, and I believe it's 14 freshmen.
Wow!
Holy cow!
So the future is bright.
Yes,
I got a lot of good baseball-minded kids, if you will. They got a little bit of that moxie that I like to talk about, like baseball moxie. Like they're smart, they're fun to be around. They listen. It's I couldn't ask for anything.
Good for you.
Anything better there.
What's the strength of your pitching staff?
It's been quite a. I thought it was going to be pretty good, and it's a little better than I thought. I'll be anxious to see it when we start getting to some competition that's more of our caliber, if you will. But I feel like we have 5 starting pitchers. The first one, our number 1 guy, if I had to put on paper, would be Benj Smith. Benj is a Jefferson College commit. He'll be headed there next year. He's a left-handed pitcher. He also happens to be a pretty good hitter, and he's only going to pitch in college. And I told him that's just a dumb idea. He needs to hit in college too.
Boy,
yeah. Caden Payne is our number 2 pitcher. He's a Quincy commit. he'll be headed there next year, and they're going to get a good product from there. I don't know that Caden will pitch in college. He'll definitely play the field and he'll hit. Our 3, 4, and 5, you could put them in any order you wanted, honestly. Our 3 is probably either Mason McNutt or Jackson Black. Mason's a left-handed pitcher. He's a sophomore. Jackson's a right-handed pitcher. He's a sophomore. And then the other sophomore that we've had to deal with some injury that we're overcoming, that he's getting ready to start getting on the mound, is Noah Smith, and that's Benj's little brother, who is a sophomore. So my top 2 pitchers are both seniors, and then my next 3 starters are all sophomores, and that's why I say the future looks bright.
Yes, sir.
Of the 34 guys on the roster, 26 of them pitch.
Wow.
And with the amount of games we have scheduled, we have
Right.
to have it because of pitch counts and everything else
Yeah.
that we deal with and managing that. And that's been stressful. And, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to Javion Russell, who has joined us this year. He's a left-handed senior. He's going to go to Mineral Area, and he'll be with their JV squad next year for baseball. And I think he can really develop into something. He's a left-handed arm. He's a pitcher only for me. I think he leads our team in games pitched right now. And yesterday he threw 3 shutout innings, and it was awesome. It was awesome to see for him. And I look forward to what he gives us the rest of the way.
With those numbers, how many left-handed pitchers do you have?
Let's see. Javion, Mason, Nate, Abel, probably 4 or 5.
Oh.
But the older ones, I mean, I got 2 seniors that are left-handed pitchers. 6. Yeah, I got 6 left-handed pitchers.
Last question from me. Who, if any, 1 or 2 guys, doesn't matter, but who has emerged as a leader for the Lancers on this team?
Ben Smith has done a great job. He, we had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and he kind of said, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do this game. That reality starts to set in. And he talked about that a little bit and kind of touched on it. We had a good conversation. He's really stepped up as a leader in getting the guys together during certain times, making sure he leads by example. And he's a gamer. I mean, he's just a gritty kid that yesterday, I was like, are you good? Yeah, I want to go another one. And we try to pitch count him early before we start really extending them. Once we get going, it warms up and they can kind of get fully loose. There's no sense in throwing a kid 105 pitches today in this weather and with arm care and everything else. And we got so many, we need to get work anyway. But Benj is probably one of the top leaders we have. And then another one who I just think the world of is our junior, Cam LeBon. We kind of joke, and he's been called the team dad more than one. But he's just such a great kid who leads by example and will do whatever you ask him. It doesn't matter. Or you say, hey, we got to get the bases out. All right, he makes sure the bases are out. Or we got to pull the tarps, or we're going to line the field, or we got to rake, or whatever it is. Cam will get right after it and make sure that it's getting done. And he's more of like he's a pitcher only for me right now because he had knee surgery this year. He had to cover the plate earlier, and he covered the plate, and it was kind of an awkward deal, and he just sat there for a minute and I just remember I looked at him, I go, hurt yourself or scare yourself? And he just kind of looked at me and he smiled. He's like, scared myself. I'm okay. I go, all right, well, let's get back out there. And he did. And so those 2 are definitely taking on leadership roles and doing a great job. I mean, they all police themselves, so to say, but those 2 are the ones that stand out right now as far as really taking the bull by the horns and making sure we get done what we need to get done.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Excellent. Talk a little bit about also, the last couple of years here, you've had, a lot of newness to the baseball program, a new baseball field.
Yeah.
Just a couple of weeks ago, you had some lights put in, so now you can have night games.
Yeah.
What's that been like? I mean, because I know the transformation is probably day and night, but tell us a little bit about that, how that went.
Well, for anybody that drives by the school to see what used to be just a vacant field that was overgrown and an eyesore, for lack of a better term, to see the jewel that people have turned it into, the amount of community support and donors and in-kind donations and people that have helped with this or helped with that, everyone that made that field happen, it's just like it's amazing. And it sits right there on the highway for everyone to look at. And I hope they look at it and they think, wow, look at that baseball field.
We did a couple Legion games there last year. Dude, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen the Pius Field, you need to get your butt by there and see it. It is top choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're blessed too in that this this spring we will host the district tournament. We were awarded that last week.
There you
Nice.
go.
Great.
It's the first. I could be wrong, and somebody will correct me if they need to, but I think it's the first time Pius has ever hosted a district baseball tournament.
Wow.
In the past, we had a field that didn't have a fence on it.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
and then we bought a portable fence, we put it up. But our facilities now, you if you think it was cool in the summer, come look at it now, because we've got a press box up now.
Yeah.
A 2-story press box.
Air conditioned press box.
It's air
by the way,
conditioned.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's huge for us.
yeah, you won't sweat. It's got a great media area to be able to write stuff in.
Mhm.
You know, we have the bullpens being turfed as we speak. The guy was out there
Man.
yesterday, and as soon as it stops raining, he'll get out there and do some more. The concrete wall on the inside has been painted green. It's transformed everything. And we got a little something special we talked about yesterday. We're going to try and do in center field on the outside of the fence for our hitting background that I think could turn out really cool when it's all said and done. But no, again, that field is just, those lights went up. You know, it was funny. Those lights have been sitting there, and with the lights sitting there, it's kind of held everything up, because they're gonna pave that parking lot. There'll be a double batting cage put in down there. You got the concessions, the bathroom, and everything else. But everything was all contingent on those lights getting put up. And now that those lights have gone up, everything else is going to kind of take off. And I do believe it's going to be a top-notch facility. Some people will say, well, why didn't you turf it? Why
Right,
did,
yeah.
why? Well, you know what? Our president and the donors really like a grass surface, and if that's what they want, then that's what we get, and it's
Yeah.
perfectly fine. And you know, not a slight to public schools or anything, but we don't have public school money.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just something we can go and say, yeah, let's turf everything.
Right.
So there, like I said, there's a lot of working parts that came to put that thing together, and everyone who did anything to it should just be so proud of it. And I am so thankful for them, and I know our kids are too, because it is a beautiful facility.
We have got to get out there and do
Yep.
some games.
We've got a couple
Wow.
games scheduled.
Oh.
Got it on the schedule here.
Just
Stay tuned. That's what we've got. A couple of them we've already talked to Tilden about. So, final question. We'll let you go here. To you personally, what would it mean to see a successful season for the St. Pius X Lancers?
As in, like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Man, that's such a loaded question, because the easy answer is, well, we go out, we compete, we win a district title, and then we just see what happens from there. I actually made the kids, their job between yesterday and today was to give me their 3 goals, to talk about who they felt like our captains were, and then we're going to address that when we get back from break on Monday. For me, a successful season is that we progress, we get better every game, we start to minimize the silly mistakes that we make as high school kids, and that, yeah, at the end of it, I told them I believe in visualization at times, if you will. And we kind of had a rough practice the other day, and we were a little down on ourselves because I was putting pressure on them, and we were making some mistakes. And I just brought them together, and I said, guys, I want you to just stand right here at the plate and just look around right now and imagine in a month and a half, you're standing here and they're handing you the first place district plaque. That's what you're playing for right now. I'm not bringing this up as sour grapes. Like, we can't play for a conference title.
Yeah.
Okay. We can't do that. We know that. No big deal. But we can play for a district title, and we can play to move on beyond that. And at the end of the day, that's what everyone wants. If you told anyone right now, would you rather have a conference title or a district title? Every
Take
coach
the
is going to say, I want the district title.
Yep.
Because that means you're moving on in the state playoffs.
Right.
So I told them, I said, you visualize being right here at home plate and you're getting handed that first place plaque. And it's the first district we've ever hosted. And I go, the stands right here are going to be packed. The press box is going to be lit up. It's going to be on. Like, the lights are going to be on under us, because we'll probably start that game at 5:30 or so. Like, you've got to see that stuff, and you've got to believe it. And I know they are capable of it. We just got to find ourselves and play to our best capability. Now, at the end of the day, if we get knocked off and we get beat, then you tip your hat to whoever knocked you off, and you move on and you prepare for the next year. We also talked about how the spring season is so tough on high school kids because it's the finality of their career in most aspects.
For sure.
You know, and I told those seniors, I looked at them and I said, guys, your window was this big and now your window's shrinking. And I put it on the underclassmen too, in that, you know, you juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, you feel like this is going to last forever. I go, ask the seniors how they feel right now.
Yeah.
We're 7 games in. We're a fifth of our season completed. and that window it shrinks down. And at the end of that, it's almost, I remember it whenever I was in school, it was like the end of my high school career, so to say, because it was your spring sport and you had nothing to look forward to after that.
No.
If you lost in football, yeah, it was sad. But
Coach, we thank you for coming in and giving us a little St. Pius X, update, and good luck to you this season.
I appreciate it. I thank you guys for having us out here. Appreciate the coverage, and I look forward to you coming out this year. Yeah, let me know when you guys come out. We'll get you set up in that press box real nice.
We're loving it. Love it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Coach Eddie Moreno from the St. Pius X Lancers.
Men to do what they do. Devoted, skilled, solving problems before there are problems. Just like the team at Crystal Heating and Cooling. 60 years of teamwork and dedication. To Crystal, you're more than a customer. You're a friend. Top reviews, decades of experience keeping your home safe and comfortable through any weather. And Crystal Care Club with included maintenance and free financing options. For 60 years, Crystal puts their heart into your comfort. Crystal Heating and Cooling.
Nice job, Raymond. I knew you could do it, buddy. Took us home, took care of it all. Nice job, young man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The arm feels good still here, and we appreciate great content on our broadcasts here on livestream.stl.tv and our Roku app there. Download the Roku app. Just search Livestream STL on Roku, and you can watch everything we have out there for free. For all of us here at the DiamondCast Baseball Show, so long. We'll see you next time.
Keep that chicken wing loosened up. We may need you next week.
Any unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Livestream STL is strictly prohibited.